Imagine being at the Last Supper with Jesus. The disciples had gathered there in the upper room to celebrate and partake in the Passover meal. And of course, Passover was one of the most sacred of all the religious festivals. It commemorated that night that God delivered His people from bondage, from slavery in Egypt. When the angel of God's judgment came and literally passed over every home that had the blood of the Lamb smeared over the door. Um, and so as they gathered to celebrate, that they would enjoy a particular meal, the Passover meal, and this meal probably would have included bitter herbs and olives and unleavened bread. It would have had stew, wine, and dates, and of course the Passover lamb. And in that moment, those disciples, they really had no idea the irony of enjoying the Passover celebration with the very Lamb of God who was about to be sacrificed on the cross for them and for each of us. Today we call this day Maundy Thursday. Maundy Thursday. It's the Thursday of Holy Week. Maundy Thursday. And that word, Maundy, it comes from a Latin word that means commandment. And it refers to that commandment that Jesus gave on that night as he gathered with his disciples. He said, "A new commandment I give you. Love one another. Even as I have loved you, so love one another." And it's Jesus's holy, self-sacrificial love that compels us to love one another. And when we think about the undeserved love that we have received from God through Jesus, I mean, how can we withhold love from one another? And today, when you think about Jesus's love, when you think about a love that is so great that he would lay down his life on a sinner's cross for you, what does that say about your present concerns? Will he not provide? Does he not care? He commands us not to worry about tomorrow. And this is how we can do that. We remember. That's how we do it. We remember. We remember his great love. We remember that he is on the throne, and we remember that he is good always. In John chapter 14, just after Jesus had the meal with his disciples, he got up from the meal and he washed his disciples' feet. And then there in John 14, Jesus comforts his disciples. He says, "Do not let your hearts be troubled." He said, "You believe in God, believe also in me." And that word believe, it's so much more than just believing in the existence of something or someone. When Jesus says believe in God, he says believe also in me. He's talking about a deep, abiding trust, not just believing in the existence of, but having this deep, abiding trust. So how about you today? Are you trusting in him with that deep, abiding trust? Are you living the abundant and worry-free life that he came to give us all? What would happen today if you lived only in today and left tomorrow's worries for tomorrow? God bless you all. I pray that he is blessing you richly in these days, that you are just growing in your faith, that you're growing in your relationship with him in spite of everything that's going on, that God is just drawing you near. I'm thinking about you, praying for you, and we'll talk to you soon. God bless you.